Hi, Achim here, InnerSpace Explorers. Today for me is a bit of a special day because I received something that I was waiting for a very long time, years and years and years. So feels a bit like birthday and Christmas at the same day, and I want to say a very special thank you to Mike Young, who actually made this possible. And here it is. It's a sports kiss. So you can Google this. I'll put you a couple of specs here in the video. It's not really the previous model of the classic kiss, but it was made before, and in Europe actually I've never ever seen one. And I dove one of these, was actually one of the early rebreathers that I dove in the 90s or so, and since that I always wanted one. I'm a huge KISS fan, so I have most KISS rebreathers that are out there, and I always wanted a sports and never could find one, so I received this one. And there were a few things that had to be done. There was no first stages. So there was no real mouthpiece. Actually there was a DSV, and actually with the better mushroom valves, I just couldn't figure out how to get a hose on this one. There's some sort of connection missing, so I actually used a BOV on it, which I had flying around, an original KISS one, and there was a couple of other things missing. And yesterday evening finally everything was working, it was ready and was finally sealing again, and so I was diving it today, and I will show you some underwater footage in the end of this video. Not a lot, because the visibility in this lake is questionable, better than in the little river down there, but yeah, it was quite a bit of rain in the last couple of days and weeks, and that's probably the reason why. So let me show you how this works, all the components. I also didn't find too much on YouTube, on the internet, so it's probably of interest for somebody. And as I dove it today, I need to disassemble it anyway, so while disassembling I'll show you a little bit what this is all about. So cameraman, come to me. Alright, so as you see, it is a professionally manufactured rebreather, so there is a professional manual for it, etc. It's all components made for that. So it's not like, because I recently read somewhere it was like a homemade pre-version of the classic, which is not complete nonsense. And so just quickly turning it around. So I just basically attached the wing and the back plate, so that's all standard. So that's the old KISS BOV. This is that Mars regulator, and it has the old triple display, which is actually one of the few really redundant PO2 meters, so to speak, because you have a cable for each cell, you have your own display, and you have your own battery for each cell, which makes it really redundant. Actually it's yeah, quite bulky, so to speak, and yeah, but it's actually good. So you can switch it on here. Yeah, it's actually out of battery, but yeah, doesn't matter. So even if one of these completely falls apart for whatever reason, you're still good to go with the others. So if you have like a modern petrol or whatever, and the computer goes, I mean, you lose all three cells basically. So here it's real redundancy. You can actually see it here, the three cables going into the three sensors that are in there. All right, so just to give you a little bit of an idea, you have obviously your oxygen tank on the right side. There is there's a decompensated first stage here on the oxygen, and then you see the line going up here and into the MAV, which also has a constant flow. So that was the only part that was not with the rebreather, and I didn't have an original one flying around, so I took this one. I mean, same concept. So gas goes in here and flows with a constant rate of 0.7 liters per minute in here, and if I want to add oxygen, I can press the button and override the constant flow. So press the button and then I inject oxygen here. So this is the diluent here. Like if you've seen a classic KISS or a Go, same thing. And so the diluent tank is on the left side. First stage has a direct attachment to the inflator hose, and the white one comes up here to this T-piece. So it continues to the BOV and goes in here. So if I inhale deep, I can actually inject oxygen. So if I do a deeper inhalation, I can actually inject diluent in the system. Theoretically, if I would press that button, same thing. So basically the same thing like with the classic KISS. All right, so let's take it apart. Yeah, I show you that before I take it apart, because that's a unique feature of the rebreather. Just put it down here, get all of this away. So that's the bottom, and if I open this plate here, you actually see the counterlungs. They're pretty full now, and what you can do is you can, or I'll describe the procedure. So what you do is you empty the counterlungs, so you basically suck vacuum. So rebreather's empty now, and now I take a full breath and I put the full breath in the rebreather. And close the rebreather. So now you see the counterlungs, and this is basically my full comfortable breath. And now I adjust the room where the counterlungs are with this plate. And that way, actually, I basically make space for the counterlungs as I need them, which then, according to the manual, makes buoyancy with this rebreather a lot easier. And actually, that's a feature I haven't seen anywhere else, and I think that's pretty cool. So let's take it apart. So first things first, we disconnect the BOV. So here's our BOV. If you haven't seen one, that's the original KISS one. That's for the chin. And then we have the hoses. That's all standard. I mean, standard KISS, but nothing super special. And now, and that is special, we have, let me just disconnect this one so it's easier to handle. So we'll take this one away, and then if you look here, you have that little strap here that prevents the counterlungs from going out of the case, and then you have this little steel cable here, which is normally attached here. I just actually took this link out before, so it's one here, which means I cannot rotate these accidentally and open it up. So I just take this part out here now, and also detach this one here from the wing backplate, and then I can take the counter lung and the to take that first stage off, otherwise it's not long enough. Alright, so I take that whole assembly out here. So if you look inside there, you see this plate construction once more. I'm not sure if you really see that, I guess so. And then we have the basically internals of that rebreather in front of us. So the two counter lungs and the canister, overpressure valve, terminal for the sensors. Sensors are inside here. So if I unscrew that, I have access to the 3 sensors here. And yeah, the ADV. And that's it basically. So very, very simple. Obviously you can detach the counter lungs and you can detach that, which I will do in a minute. Just create some space here. So turn this 90 degree. You can take this out. So now I have the entire assembly with the display, and I can do the same thing on the other side. Turn it 90 degree, lift it up, and here is the sorb. So let's take a bucket and pour this out without making too much of a mess. All right, and there you see inside, and here are the counter lungs, and counter lungs are the same thing, 90 degree, take it apart, 90 degree, and take this one out, and now basically we have all the components ready to be cleaned and disinfected, and that's it. Super simple machine. Really lovely to dive. I mean, the breathing comfort is not as good as with the classic, and of course you can't compare it to a chest-mounted unit like the Go or something like that. But for me, who loves vintage rebreathers and play around and test and do dives like that, actually it was awesome. Especially it was years and years and years since I had my hands on one, and now I have one for my collection. And I hope you really like this little insight in this cool machine. And now I'll show you a couple of underwater clips from the dive today. And if you like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if there's a special rebreather that you would like to see, let me know in the comments. And if you have a sports and you're in Europe, let me know as well. It would be awesome to know if there's one still in use somewhere. If you Google it, there's a picture of a gentleman in the US who actually has the stainless steel case. So that black case that you saw in the middle is aluminium, and there was a version with stainless steel, and he polished it up like mirror finish. Looks fantastic. I never saw one of these cases live, so yeah, I'm happy with what I have. Hope you had a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.